Well, welcome to Seven Mountains Social Fundraising. My name is Rick Reese. I'll be your presenter. I'm going to be sharing some, I believe, very critical information with you and absolutely important for churches and pastors to understand how we move forward. And I truly believe this is the next step. And so I'm going to share a short video that talks about the 7 mountains of cultural influence. 7 mountains looming over our culture and directing which way it goes. And so it's important to understand because one critical piece in it is the mountain of business. And I want you to pay close attention to what happens with the mountain of business. And then I'm going to come back and I've got a short presentation I'll be sharing with you. And but let's take a look at the 7 mountains of cultural influence. And I'll be back shortly.
It was August 1975, and the Lord had given me that day a list of things that I had never thought about before. He said, this is the way to reach America and nations for God.
In every city of the world, an unseen battle rages for dominion over God's creation and the souls of people. This battle is fought on 7 strategic fronts, looming like mountains over the culture to shape and influence its destiny. Over the years, the church slowly retreated from its place of influence on these mountains, leaving a void now filled with darkness. When we lose our influence, we lose the culture, and when we lose the culture, we fail to advance the kingdom of God. And now, a generation stands in desperate need. It's time to fight for them and take back these mountains of influence. The mountain of government, where evil is either restrained or endorsed. The mountain of education, where truths or lies about God and His creation are taught. The mountain of media, where information is interpreted through the lens of good or evil. The mountain of arts and entertainment, where values and virtue are celebrated or distorted. The mountain of religion, where people worship God in spirit and truth or settle for a religious ritual. The mountain of family, where either the blessing or a curse is passed on to successive generations. And the one mountain they all depend on, the mountain that fuels and funds all the other mountains. The mountain of business, where people build for the glory of God or the glory of man, where resources are consecrated for the kingdom of God or captured for the powers of darkness. Those who lead this mountain control what influences our culture. The last 50 years, we've seen the most rapid moral decline in history. The culture we inherited from our forefathers is disintegrating before our eyes. What kind of world are we leaving for our children and grandchildren? As long as the business mountain is held by enemies of the gospel, funding for the other mountains will always be constrained, and any efforts to advance the kingdom of God will be hindered. Imagine God's people reclaiming their cities and government, in the arts and entertainment, in the media, in education, in the family, in religious influence, but only limited by their imagination and not by a lack of finances. It's possible, but first, we must take back the mountain of business. God's move to take this mountain back has already begun. Thousands and thousands of business leaders in every major city across the nation are filling arenas to learn from business leaders and hear the gospel of Christ. 90% of people working in the marketplace believe in God. 78% believe spirituality and business mix. 70% say that because of their faith, they find meaning and purpose in life. There are over 56 million Bible-believing Christians working in the marketplace. A vast army of God waiting to be truly engaged in the battle. Yet this strategic army and battlefront has largely been left ignored by the church. More than 90% of church members do not feel they are being equipped or trained by the church to apply biblical faith in their day-to-day life.
The business mountain is so strategic because that is the place of influence. When you look at culture, so much of culture is defined by what happens in business.
If we would use the wealth of the world to bless the world, and bless it not only to distribute to the needy that which they need.
When you bring economy and economic benefit to a nation or a culture, then you have influence in that culture.
People, as they're transformed, who will transform all the spheres of society.
It is time to reclaim the 7 mountains and bring the life of God back into our culture.
Wow, such a powerful video. I just love showing that video. It's great information. I'm here to inspire our pastors, and many pastors and churches and ministries and nonprofit organizations are feeling pretty stuck right now, and it's primarily because they feel they have no money. Well, I'm going to be sharing with you a concept, the law of indirect pursuit. And when I hear about businesses, I'm thinking about the business from the perspective of the business mountain. The ease to which we can transfer wealth without a bunch of products, without a bunch of stuff, but just pretty much transferring wealth like Expedia. They're not working. They're just providing a service. And so I'm going to share with you a short presentation that talks about the law of indirect pursuit. And the fact is, the consumer is all powerful. The way we choose to spend our dollar can affect and fix every problem that we see out there. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you very briefly about the Vortex. And the Vortex is a pretty cool tool. And this is what I believe can move wealth and finances to fund the projects that we have going right now for kingdom building, for community building. And so ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Vortex, fundraising with the Surge 365 Vortex. Now, everything begins with a vision, a cause, a ministry, and there's a lot of need that's happening right now. But I truly believe as a community builder myself, we're held in place for lack of funds. And so we're going to show you a vehicle to tap into the wealth that's just flowing even as we speak. And we're going to share with you a new travel program that provides a fresh and consistent stream of funding for virtually any organization, church, school, businesses. You know, the pandemic, I believe, has given us a break, and now we're kind of coming out of it, sort of, but you want to be in position. So what I'm going to share with you today, imagine your members and supporters booking their personal and business travel, even if it is that road trip, and you earn when they save. Truly, this is a win-win situation. And so let's take a look. Fundraising with the Vortex. Now, what is the Vortex, Rick? The Vortex is a travel discount search engine. We've all booked travel online. Who goes to a travel agent anymore? Supporters, let's say you're a church or an organization. They can register for free. It's a complimentary link. They're connecting to the same hotels, same cruises, car rentals, but they're saving. And you earn 60% of whatever they save. Right now, that money is going to someone else. Why not you? Earn cash rewards It's a fundraising tool 24/7, 365 days out of the year. It can go viral. It's an international link. Here's an example. We know Disney is opening back up again. How about supporters booking through that free complimentary Vortex link? They save up to 60% on that hotel. And as an organization, as a church, as a business, as a school, you earn 60% of whatever they save. Orlando. Someone books hotel resort in Orlando. The Vortex, it goes out and it looks at the public price, the price that's set by Expedia and Priceline. They actually set the public price. And it has an algorithm to come in up to 60% less. In this case, the person that gets this free complimentary link is saving $67. Now, that may be you booking through the Vortex. Now, I know you would be happy, but the owner of the Vortex earns 60% of what you save. So coming to that organization, coming to that church, coming to Expedia, or whatever, whomever may be that online booking website they book through, comes a profit. And in this case, we want to be able to harness and redirect that $40 coming back to the organization. That just makes sense to me. If you're going to Bali, it's an international link. Over the public price, save $250. The person, the customer, the member, the supporter, absolutely happy. The organization earning 60% of whatever is saved, $150. Folks, that's huge. Now, how do you do that, Rick? Well, our business model is simple here in Surge 365 with the Vortex. Expedia and Priceline, they pay a ton of money, $885 million a month. Last year that totaled $10.6 billion. See, folks, we're tapping into a money stream. Rather than paying for clicks and commercials, why not pay your organization? It's more effective because we pay for results. We pay when people book. And it's way better for you as an organization or even as an individual because now you get paid. Currently, where's the money going? We have people right now, your members, your supporters, your students, they're planning a summer vacation. They're planning to go somewhere. We're all coming off this pandemic and quarantine. Even if it's a road trip, who are they booking that hotel stay through, that rental car through? Is it Expedia, Trivago? Is it Priceline? You heard me mention Expedia and Priceline. They actually set the public rate. That's why anytime you research, you find the same rate. That's a public rate. Well, we come in up to 60% less. Why pay Expedia? Last year, their bookings over $85 billion. Now, your organization contributed to that. We're talking about harnessing, redirecting, and putting that profit to fund your cause. Pretty huge. Now, the Vortex truly is a perpetual funding solution. Members, if you're an organization, give it out to your members. It's free, it's complimentary. Because they're part of your organization, let them book. They can save. You earn when they save. If you're a ministry, if you're a church, right now is a great time. Give it out to your entire congregation. They can give it out to the world. There is no limit of the links that people can go to and book. But when they go, they're going to save. And you earn when they save. You may just be an individual saying, hey, you know what? This is pretty cool. I've got a lot of friends. I've got a lot of family. Who's going to be traveling? Let me save them some money. Why give that money to others, Expedia and Priceline? You may be a business. We work with businesses and we show them how to turn travel expenses into revenue. Every penny that you can pinch is a good penny. Warren Buffett says, things that you like to do should be a hobby of yours, but things that the world does, that should be a business of yours. The world travels $8.3 trillion. And I believe that's going to increase, especially coming off the pandemic. The demand for travel is about to explode, ladies and gentlemen. All those canceled vacations will be rescheduled if they haven't already. I know we've got a cruise that was rescheduled for next year. The weekend getaways, those road trips are therapeutic. Family vacations, even if it's just a staycation, resorts, cruises, I mean, cruises bookings are up, way up. Billions will be made. This is a tool that allows your organization, your business, you as an individual, to harness and redirect a profit. Otherwise, you must be a consumer. The consumer is all powerful. Consumer choice is the easiest way to get involved, to fund your social cause. I don't believe in boycotts. I believe in harnessing economy, redirecting economy to make things happen. Truly making money in travel has never been easier. Customers register, it's a free link, give it out to the world. It's free. Same hotels, same cruises, same car rentals. All we're doing is being that third party. We're giving Expedia the boot as a third party, connecting your supporters to the very same vendors. The vendors pay whomever sends them the business. Why not you? You earn 60% when that person saves. Truly a win-win situation. The Vortex, Rick, what's that look like? Okay, well, here you're looking at the presentation. That's the Vortex link. They've got to register because we're taking it off the public space. And that's why we can pass on our savings. Anything in the public space has to honor something called parity. That's why when you go to the hotel, do your research, you go to Expedia or Priceline, do your research, they're all around the same price. They're honoring parity. You come through this Vortex link, create a free sign-in, a free account, or you are booking hotels, resorts, they're the very same. Vacation homes, cruises, cars, flights, even Southwest Airlines. And the activities, get those Disney tickets through the Vortex, and you are going to save. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at this as a fundraiser. So I'm a community builder. I'm always looking for ways that we can raise money for the community without effort, tapping into economy. Click and order fundraising. Imagine earning 60% of what the member saves. 50 people, they book that trip, and people are getting itchy now. And let's say they save $50. That's $1,500 coming into your organization. 100 people book that trip, save $50. That's $3,000. Well, Rick, we have an organization, 5,000 strong, one big family. Okay, well, let's say 500 of them truly believe in the vision of the house. And as we come out of this pandemic, even if it's just a short little trip and they're staying at a hotel, they book through the link and they save $50. That's $15,000. Think about it. What could your organization do with an extra $15,000? Now, the reason we showed the video, the 7 Mountains social funding video or fundraising up front, is I want you to see, when you understand the 7 mountains, wealth transfers from the business mountain to fund the other 6. Well, what do you mean by that, Rick? If somebody's running for political office on the mountain of government, who do they call? They call their buddy from business. Can you fund my campaign? If someone is producing a movie on the mountain of art, sports, and entertainment, who do they call? They call their buddy for business. The church, and in general, we fund everything that's going on. But when you understand the 7 mountains, you begin to understand how world economy flows. And now you can intersect and participate and redirect. Truly, the Vortex is the ultimate fundraiser. Now think about this. If only 20% of your membership base took that one pandemic trip that they're going to take, we got to get away from where we are. And let's say they save $50. If you're a ministry of 1,500 members, that's 20% of the 1,500. That's $9,000 that you're rescuing from going to some other company, Expedia, Travelocity, Priceline. If you're an association of 10,000 members, that's just 20% of the 10,000. That's 60,000. You may be part of some of the different things that are going on in our economy right now, in our world right now. And you may be saying, hey, how do we make money out of this to further our cause? If you're a nonprofit of 80,000 members, it's 20%, that's $480,000. If you are an organization, and this is one of the things that is so cool, of 175,000 members, just 20%, 20,000, they save $50. That's $1 million. See, folks, we must get creative. We're held in place because the money is withheld. So I look for tools that give me access without having to ask for permission to harness and redirect wealth to fund causes. Now, I've got something that's coming up here in my hometown that I'm going to be funding. We'll talk about here in just a moment. But the opportunity on the table, you got 7.7 billion people locked down globally. When has that ever happened? 7.7 billion people. What are they going to do when they're able and free to travel? They're going to travel. They're going to go someplace, anywhere from the four walls of their house. And you are here with the Vortex in place as a church, as an organization, as a business, even as a school. It allows you to raise money 24/7, hands-free. What is Expedia doing to raise money? Not against Expedia, it's business, so you can't fault them. But you don't have to pay them. Go through the Vortex, save up to 60%. As an organization, business, school, you earn 60% of whatever they say, folks. It's the same vendors. It's really just responsible stewardship. Now, I'm building a community center, community empowerment center in my hometown of New Bedford, Massachusetts. Now, we'll get donors, we'll get funding from many sources, but I'm also looking at using the Vortex because we've got people that support this cause even outside of our community that would make a consumer choice to go through the Vortex and book that trip. And they'll save, and let's say $50 comes back and 20,000 folks book our 20,000 transactions through the Vortex. That's $1 million. Now, this center is going to run us about 10 million. And we're going to build 6 of these across the United States. We've got one starting with my community. We've got one coming up in Miami, in Atlanta, Tacoma, and then 2 more to be determined. You know, you may give me some input on that, but we're going to use the Vortex to raise billions, to redirect the billions that's going away from us. It's a tool that now flows it to us. Can you believe that? Can you believe that with me? It's going to happen. And we invite you to join us. The money on the table, online travel trends, $704 billion, people booking online. Now, you may be part of that number. Last year, $762 billion, people booking online. Now, unless you have a tool, you have to be a consumer. The gracious leadership of Surge 365 could keep all of this money. But they said, no, let's provide a tool for the people to be able to harness, tap, and redirect pure wealth. Now imagine the 7.7 billion people released from quarantine. We are ready for the perfect storm, folks, and you are in position. The Vortex booking engine, all we're doing is connecting now your supporters to the very same travel vendors. What cause are you looking to fund? Rick, this is fantastic. Well, let's wrap up. Now, this begins with a campaign to get registered, just like in voting. If a person's not registered to vote, they don't vote. We want them registered for the Vortex. It's free, it's complimentary. And so let's say we're working with the church. We want that pastor, we want that bishop, that leader to identify a campaign manager, someone that we can work with. We also want to, because nothing happens without purpose, we also want to identify the purpose for the funds. And it may just be the rebuilding of communities that have suffered some damage because of recent events. And then we want to talk about a target amount. The online booking last year, 762 billion. What's your target amount? Okay. And then we want to focus on getting people registered. The neat thing about it is that if this is a fundraiser, you can get that Vortex link out internationally. And when they save internationally, the money finds its way back to that location. You become a resource center. That's huge, folks. A mover of money. Then we want to set a deadline for the Vortex registration goal. That's it. This is about the consumer taking control, knowing that the consumer is all powerful. Don't boycott economy. you harness with business tools and redirect economy to fund your cause. It's a positive way to look at that, right? Well, let's wrap up with these benefits. Generate funds from an existing network of members and supporters. Anytime you book online, someone gets paid. Anytime you go directly to the hotel, they keep the money. This is a tool that harnesses and redirects. Get paid for performance and productivity. No glass ceiling on earnings. I'm a military guy. This is logistics. This is how goods and services get to the market space. Low participation rates still produces significant revenue. Accountability is huge. And so there are reports that are generated that track everything. Online bookings and changes are handled directly with the travel vendors. Now, I really like that one because you're not in the travel business. You're kind of doing like Expedia. They're not in the travel business. They're just connecting your supporters to the vendors, and the vendors pay them. And so we just want to give them the boot as the middleman. But if there are changes that need to be made in itineraries, they're working directly with Southwest Airlines customer service, Carnival Cruise customer service, Avis car rental customer service. You're just now getting credit for sending the business. Travel cash rewards are paid by the travel vendors, not your supporters. I really like that one. All we're doing is something different with the profit that Expedia keeps 100% that last year makes them $85 billion. We're saying, no, let's pass on the savings up to 60%, and then let's pay 60% of whatever is saved to that owner of the Vortex. That is huge. That is access to wealth. What vision do you need funded? The campaign requires virtually no management overhead. I really like that one. Now, if you've ever worked a traditional fundraising program, car wash, bake sales, overpriced candy, you have learned to back away slowly. Run, Forrest, run. You're not standing on any corner. This is, can you point them to a link based on a vision that you want to accomplish or a purpose you want to accomplish, where they can make a consumer decision. Folks, that's how you want to raise money. It's non-contractual. If it's working, you keep going. There's no long-term commitment. If it's not, you simply stop. Rick, this is fantastic. It's what I've been looking for. I'm not even doing it any justice in describing it. Get back with that person that invited you to this presentation and get a free Vortex link and take a look at it and compare the prices with Expedia. And know that when it identifies the savings, 60% of that is going to somewhere of your choice. But get started today. We have a travel owners package, and we also have the travel income package. Both of these packages include the Vortex. So if you're just looking for the Vortex, you may say, Rick, I just want the travel income package. And oh, by the way, there's a travel agency that's included in there. I would recommend, if you're an organization, the travel owner package for $499, $99.95, and there's no monthly fee. They give you three months without a monthly fee. That's huge, folks. It's like giving you $300. But in the travel owner package, you have the Vortex, but you also have a wholesale travel club membership, and that's how your organization will travel with the lowest rates, folks. That's huge. And it also includes the travel agency and a 7-night stay, that vacation stay. Now with the center, we're going to be actually raffling that off. So there's some great ways that you can use some of these products that are included. But we're talking about the Vortex. So even just for the Vortex alone, you want to come on board. You may not be Barry Diller, who bought Expedia, $17 billion, $1 million a week to maintain it. This is putting you in that market space. Folks, that's huge. Understand what I'm saying. Rick, this is fantastic. It's even better than I'm describing. Folks, you want to sit down with someone that invited you to this presentation and take a look at the Vortex and see for yourself. Activate your Vortex, then let's sit down and have a conversation about the campaign that we want to put together for you. And we can tailor it for you. I'm a community builder myself, so I am intimately aware of what's happening in our society. And I'm also intimately aware that you're held in place because you have no money. And I'm not going to another meeting where they have no money. And at the end of the meeting, they say, great discussions, let's have another meeting. No, let's put a campaign in place. Let's activate the Vortex. Let's get it out to the masses, and the consumers take charge. That's what it's all about, folks. Truly, it is time to fund your cause with Surge 365. Let's go. Wow. Now, I gave you a lot of information, beginning with the 7 mountains to show you how the system works in transferring wealth. The business mountain funds the other 6, folks. There's no way around it, but I want you to take a look at whatever business you're working with. I want you to understand and take a look at it from the perspective, the ease to which it can transfer wealth to fund your cause. Not just money, but time. The Vortex is the best I've seen out there, folks. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'll see you on the beaches of the world. And know that when you're there, somebody's getting paid. And hopefully that somebody is your organization. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day.